A lot of carvers will maintain their carving tools with a machine like this. It's effectively a high-speed grinder with two felt wheels that take an abrasive paste on each one instead of the normal grinding wheels, and the rotation is backwards like this so that you're not digging into the tool. The machines like this normally have a tool rest, or one on each end, and a sort of perspex shield here, and you should wear it with eye protection. This one has a little light which is quite helpful. Now the thing about these machines is that this machines, as an example, travels or spins at 2,850 revolutions a minute, which is the equivalent of 23 meters or 75 feet of strop going past your blade every second. So imagine all that. You could not strop that quickly. So what this means is that the amount of abrasive that's passing over your carving tool is so much and so quick that unless you're careful, lots of things will happen very fast. So you'll take the corners off when you're using these machines. You'll take the corners off, you'll round the edges, and so on. So you have to be very careful about that. But the main problem with these wheels is in fact the bevel and maintaining that low cutting angle. If you, I think you can imagine, if you put this way on this wheels, on this curved surface, that curve is going to touch this flat edge at some sort of tangent, and it's almost impossible to not be on the edge. So the real tendency for these tools, these wheels, is to round this bevel over, because you tend to work very much on the cutting edge rather than the whole bevel itself. The only way I know to get round that is to come side onto the wheel. So you need to have some sort of system, some sort of arrangement that you are coming side onto the wheel like this. I would use the hard wheel for the outside bevel, so like there, and I would use this for the inside. So, but let me just look at this wheel for the moment. This, if I'm using the outside bevel, the cutting angle, if I just can mock this up, there's your piece of wood, there's your cutting angle, and you imagine that is the cutting angle going across here like this. So you present it side on, 90 degrees at the cutting angle, and you rotate like that. And that way, that flat surface of the wheel actually maintains a flat outside bevel. So I would use this on the hard wheel over here at that angle, and I would do all my outside bevels like that. The problem here, or another problem, is of course the inside bevel, and with the softer wheel you can turn the tool upside down, certainly do it this way, and you have, because it's a shorter bevel, you can use on flatter gouges either the whole of it or more of the corner of the wheel on the softer one. So you can certainly do the outside bevel like this, and you can do the inside bevel on the softer wheel like this, of flatter and larger gouges. But when the gouges are narrower and deeper, then you can't get that on the wheel. So what I suggest you do is you mix the two together. So make yourself some strops that will fit smaller, more delicate tools on the inside that you can strop as you would normally. So you can strop on the inside with a slip strop, and you can do the outside bevel of these smaller tools on this on this hard wheel like that. So that's basically it. These will work quite well and be quite quick. Remember, it's very fast. It's got to be careful about the edge and the corner. It's also good for the outside bevel on the hard wheel. Bigger bevels, bigger tools, flatter tools on the softer wheel. Mix it with some slip strops on the inside, and always think about that low cutting angle. And if you're not sure about it, what you can do is you can get a Sharpie and you can colour the outside of your bevel like this, and then you can offer it to the tool and just offer it to the wheel rather, and just see what's happening. So again, it's fast, but with a bit of care they work very well. Let me give you a quick demonstration. So here's the hard wheel for the outside bevel. There's my cutting angle. And for this tool, which is a bit narrower, my cutting angle corner to corner. Let me just show you this black marker method for checking your presentation to the wheel. It's a really good way of, when you're starting, to make sure you're getting the right angle of presentation and so on. So you cover the bevel in your black marker, and when you present it to the wheel, if you are too high, then you're going to remove the black marker from the cutting edge. If you're too low, then you're going to remove it from the heel. So this can tell you the angle at which you're presenting. What you're trying to do is to get the whole of that bevel flat on this wheel at the cutting angle all at once. That's a bit of grease there, and I can get that to come off. But you can see I've covered the whole of that bevel in one go. That's what you're aiming to do. Here I am at the softer wheel. You can see how springy it is, how spongy. For a narrow tool, a deep tool like this, you can see I couldn't really use it, even the corners, without digging the corner of this tool in there, and that would remove those corners, which I don't want to do. So this tool, tools like this that don't fit, you will have to use your slip strop, just as before, like this, to remove or to polish up, maintain that inside stropped edge. But for the wider tools, the ones that are flatter and can fit over here, then you certainly can use this wheel, and you can use either this corner, or if the tool is flat enough, the whole of the face of the wheel. It doesn't take much to strop. You only need a few passes, and that's the inside bevel stropped. Maintaining your carving tools doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't matter whether you're using a power system like this or stropping by hand, but it is important that you do it. It's part of the joy of carving. It produces good carvings when you have good, sharp tools all the time. What's really important, the last thing to say, is that you are trying to maintain that shape that you've commissioned the tool to. That's a low cutting angle, inside bevel, corners and so on. That's really an important point. And something like this, the machine, let me just warn you, it does take a bit of work to make sure that you get that right. Anyway, I hope that's been useful, and wish you all the best with your carving.